How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at World Tree number 2. This book, when issue 1 came out, everybody was absolutely blown away. It was a really good, really solid start to a series. I might have to talk about issue 1 spoilers during this. I'll keep it spoiler-free for talking about issue 2. I will say, though, issue 2 is good, but this is much more of a slower, talky issue. You see, issue 1 pulled out all the stops. Tons of violence and insanity and getting to learn about all these crazy concepts. You know, the kid killing all his neighbors door to door, the old, friends that one of them had become super rich and they're like, it's back, we got to start it. There was so much stuff going on in issue 1, and it was really good, but of course, we can't keep that insanity going issue after issue, and this is much more of a dealing with the repercussions issue, and it's in turn more talky. We do get a fun sequence where the girlfriend is exploring a house and fear is following her unbeknownst to her, and we do get some action sequences like that, but for the most part, again, very, very talky. There's a few really long conversations in here. There's a conversation between 2 FBI people, and it almost feels like you're trying to knock off Pulp Fiction or something, a long conversation about his secret activities at a massage parlor, which doesn't do much for the plot other than nailing down that this character is a scumbag, and it goes on for quite a while, so I did wish maybe if they had found a way to hold off some of the action from issue 1 and save it for the other issues or something, and I do think the book does have the right path ahead of itself. I do think more stuff will happen, and this was kind of just, issue 1 was the big flash that sets everything up, the inciting incident, and here is much more the legwork, putting our characters in the right space or whatever, but yeah, I just wish that this book had a little bit of that insanity that the first one did, and it's all going to be, the rest of the plot. Hopefully we get back to that point, when we actually see the group of friends hunting this thing down. I mean, that's a good opportunity, but yeah, as it stands now, issue 2 is the long, talky issue that's not as good as the first one, but, fingers crossed this series doesn't decline and that this is just doing the setup work we need to, but you never do know, so fingers crossed again. If you guys want to see a little bit more of this book, I won't be doing any major spoilers, but if you want me to show you guys just a little bit of the story and a little bit of the art, I'm going to switch to the close-up camera and I'll flip through a little bit. Again, trying not to cover any major spoilers, but without further ado, let's switch to the close-up camera. Alright, here we are inside the castle taking a closer look at World Tree number 2. And this is a pretty fun cover. The little bit of red at the top really does help pull in the color into the rest of the issue, and a good place to put the title there. And it is pretty subtle. The hood of the car takes up a lot of space, but we can see the 2 officers passed out, and Fear in the background on her phone, and apparently she somehow predicted this all and got the license plate changed to her name. I don't know, it's just a fun Easter egg. But not exactly what happens in this issue, but this is more setting the tone, maybe something that happened in her past, and I think that was the same with the last cover where she killed the cheerleader. That wasn't exactly in the story either, so I think these are kind of like almost an anthology of stories about what this character did leading up to the book. Anyway, we get the credits there. James Tynion IV is the writer, and art by Fernando Blanco. And we get a bunch of the other credits, and I have to be careful not to go too far over. So the deal with this book is we do get a really fun opening scene where the guy's girlfriend is exploring the house where the younger brother lived with his grandma. And while she's walking around, we get Fear stalking behind her unbeknownst to the girlfriend. Now, of course, if you know this book, you know that we can't show Fear on YouTube because she is usually depicted in the nude. So, yeah, I can't show you too much of the section, but the idea of someone slowly following behind you while you don't know it is a really good and terrifying idea. I love the sequence, and I wish I could show you more of it, but YouTube flips out on an inconsistent basis, so yay. I will say, though, what the girlfriend is doing, a little bit unexpected, because I thought she was more loving and supportive in the beginning, but it turns out that when she saw this golden opportunity, she wants to turn it into an award-winning podcast. And, of course, she hasn't told the boyfriend yet, but you can rest assured he's probably not going to be the biggest fan of it. But she's going to use the, you have to take control of the narrative and tell your side of the story angle. Yeah, I think we know where this argument's going to go, but hey, maybe things will go different. We don't know. But then after that, we get these FBI agents, one of whom is Silk. I believe that's the female one there, with the eye patch, and her partner is going to be going on a random little spiel. You know, I said it was almost like a, Quentin Tarantino side rant, and we do get the character talking about a massage parlor with a, secret happy ending type deal, but he thought it wasn't good enough and used the police to get the place shut down, and now he thinks all the other officers are mad at him because he thinks the other people went there. Yeah, it's unnecessary how long the speech is, and it serves to show you that this guy is a jerk, but I think we could have got that in a lot less time. He also does casually use the other F word, even though he says he's not trying to be mean, but yeah, no, we get it, he's a bad guy. I do like, and I don't know if it was intentional, when he talks about using the police, to shut the massage parlor down as an act of revenge, the police tape above his head says, "Do not cross police." So I'm wondering if that was supposed to be a visual gag. Another fun thing I like here is this is literally one of the few cops who wasn't in the building at the time, and they're like, "Are you in charge here?" And he's like, "Oh, gee, I guess I am in charge." I thought that was a fun note. And the eye patch, it's a little bit of a corny, old school thing, but I like it. She looks cool. And then checking up with the last people, and again we get this name motif, Liam here is going to the Holiday Inn Express, and they even joke, because he meets his friend there, Yoshi, and he's like, "This is so sweet, haven't seen you in years," and he's like, "What's so sweet about a Holiday Inn Express?" And it turns out he didn't just rent some rooms, he rented the whole building, which is a cool idea, although I'm sure they must have had to cancel some reservations for that. Yeah, I don't know, but it is cool because they get the whole conference room to turn into their war room, and we get to see them booting up the W0rldtr33 system and pouring drinks alone in a lonely bar. So that's a cool idea, having a whole big empty hotel room all to yourself, and yeah, you can tell that's a Holiday Inn. I kind of wonder if he saw the Detective Heart of America movie on YouTube from Film Cow. They make a few Holiday Inn jokes. But anyway, overall, a fun second issue, and we get some cool ideas falling into place. Who's the mysterious figure that got him out of interrogation? The setup in an empty hotel room, that's cool. And the way that the exploring the house section does pan out, I thought that was fun as well. Again, though, there's lots of long, talky sequences one of the stuff that I didn't cover at the end because it's past a staple is another long conversation from this redhead lady, which does, I guess, add to character, but yeah, I don't know if it's 100% necessary. So this is a slower, talky issue, but it's not bad. It's just, when you start out with the massacres from issue 1, you know, I don't know, maybe save the police massacre till, like, you know, show it about to happen at the end of issue 1, and then, you know, like, I don't know, I just wish there was some bigger splash like we got last time. You know, you see that in issue 1 and you start to expect it, but it is still good. It's just, you know, a little slower, but I'm holding out hope that this book won't decline. I think it's going to be good. I think this is just the boring setup phase we need to get through. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my James Tynion playlist, where you can see my reviews for the first issue of World Tree. I also talked about his The Closet series and The Nice House on the Lake, so there's quite a few James Tynion things in there. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.